I saw a Reddit post today that I wanted to share. And, you know, I don't want to use this guy as kind of like I don't want to use this guy or assume that I know this guy's mindset or whatever. Before I bring this up, I'm real big on making sure that when it comes to video games, use video games as a way to, I don't know if I want to use the term to better yourself necessarily, although that's what I'm kind of like getting at. The thing about video games that have always kind of bothered me, or at least I wanted to be a positive voice for like change, is that video games or gaming in general, I don't like when people play them as like an addiction. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like when people are using video games in a way that's no different than somebody using anything. That's why I was bringing this post up, because I just thought it was interesting. And I thought it was a good backdrop for this discussion, right? This guy says, hey, KindAzir here, getting something off my chest. You know, he's a Azir player. And, you know, he's been playing for a while. He's been grinding this champion for a long time. And he says, as an Azir one-trick pony for several years, 1.3 million mastery points, peaking at current 460 LP master, possible to get challenger at the end of season with 54% win rate overall. Thousands of hours, hundreds of hours of frustration, instant gratification, still addicted, trying to get better, reach a challenger, rank a video game that gives you nothing in the end, spending between 6 to 12 hours a day in Summoner's Rift. I have to quit. Sadly, I have to quit. My brain tells me to grind more, one more game, don't quit, you are good. You're the top 0.05% of all players on the server. You play with the boss, Nuggery, Broxa, etc. You can get this, but it won't give me anything in the long run. I'm not a streamer, I'm not a YouTuber, I don't get money so many hours, I can't buy myself a better life out of it, and mostly I don't pursue a career in gaming, so why bother? Anyone who's reading this, stop playing if it consumes your real life. I know it's super hard, you'll fall back once or twice, but it's because it's addictive to be good in a competitive game. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't think enough players will be honest about how unhealthy this game is. I've even seen coaches, and I don't want to call out coaches because otherwise they're phenomenal coaches. But I've seen coaches in the past try to like sneakily scoot by, like fucking whoop, right? They try to like sneakily scoot by the reality that like in order to become really good at this game, really good. I'm not talking like diamond beating the game. I'm talking like really fucking good. This game actually, like, you have to have almost an unhealthy at some point in your progression, you are going to be unhealthy in this game. I do not believe, and if there, I shouldn't say that. I would be willing to bet a big chunk of money that 99% of all players that have been to the top of the ladder or near the top of the ladder at one point played this game at an addicted level, to the point of where their life, if they had done it, if they're consistently doing that time and time again, they are hurting themselves as like a human, like as an existing, living and breathing, either by sleep deprivation, just mental health, like abuse. And yeah, I don't think that only applies even to the top, you know, whatever percent of players. So I just want to reiterate to my audience, I want to reiterate to anybody that happens to be listening to this video right now that actually has, you know, whatever talent, whatever dedication, drive, grit, whatever it is to get to the tip top of the ladder. I just want to say, like, out loud, as somebody who's done these climbs and has played games competitively for a long time, really, you know, I think we, at the very least, you should strive to be functionally addicted. Because I would never want to sit here, and this is why I said I disagree with some other coaches, is because I never want to sit here and tell my audience, like, hey, yeah, man, you know, you could play a couple games here or there and you could get to where I'm at. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. I think it is an absolute 110% requirement that in order to get to the tip top level of League of Legends, you are at some point going to have to dip into a very, very unhealthy relationship with this video game. And in this case, this player has realized that, yeah, I'm pretty close to Challenger. But I'm realizing, oh my God, I am wasting my time. I am, in his words right here, I am not a streamer. I am not a YouTuber. I don't get money for so many hours. I can't buy myself a better life. I don't pursue. Do not get it in your head, this almost nihilistic, this like nihilistic viewpoint of you know, nothing matters and it's an escape for me, yada, yada, yada. You can get a better perspective on life. You can get a better perspective on addictions. You can get a better perspective on everything if you heed my warnings, if you heed the warnings of others and understand that if you're going to take this game to the next level, and I guess this is the point that I'm trying to get to, if you are trying to make something out of this game, then fucking make something out of it or get out of the way, or set a more, I should say, or set a more realistic goal for yourself and be happy with that goal. I don't know how many of you guys have ever played Undertale before. I don't want to spoil the game too much, but it's mostly at its core, I would say it's mostly a commentary on like completionism, like, you know, being a completionist in video games, and is that necessarily a good thing, a bad thing, or whatever, right? It's just it's an interesting perspective on it. And I kind of feel that way with League, is that it's these games now, Valorant, League, yada, 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 are all designed to like siphon all of your time away. And Riot's been doing a lot of shady shit that like we as content creators, like from a perspective of, oh, we want to get lower queue time games. Yeah, maybe streamers are disingenuous too. They want to play with newbies more often or whatever the fuck it is. But hear me out on this one. Riot unquestionably has gone out of their way to make sure that you waste the maximum amount of time in League of Legends with stuff like Smurf Q, with these LP gains and ups and downs of LP. Everybody has been commenting lately that it takes longer to climb, right? So like you need to, if you are somebody that's aspiring to do, like is aspiring to take gaming seriously or want to be a part of the space in a real way for a long time, make the game more than just a fucking addiction for you. And if it's getting to a point where it's an addiction, do what this guy does, man. I think it takes a lot of courage to say out loud, like, hey, I am wasting time, because I am oftentimes, while I am so grateful to be here, I'm also many times I look to the left and right of me at these people that are like really high elo and they're not trying to do anything with it, and I'm just like, I'm torn, because it's like, yeah, I'm making money on this, but it's almost like I'm making money on a drug in a way. And I just see these guys that are just not trying to better themselves at all through the game, right? They're not trying to be the best. They're not trying to be the best at something or market themselves. They're not trying to like coach. They're not trying to stream. They're not trying to be a pro. They're just there. Yeah, I'm not saying that you guys should uninstall. I'm just saying, if you are an aspiring whatever, just like I say in the coaching, just like I've told clients, to their ears, not their face, because we're on Discord, to their ears, hey, if you're gonna make a crazy goal, get the goal and get something out of it. You know, set the goal, make the goal, do something else, or make something out of it. I really want to try to get as many people to hear this message as possible, because I just don't want, especially people that are in this similar positions to this guy. It's like Azir, one trick pony. Not even aflame this guy. No one's gonna know who the fuck this guy is. No one's gonna know who this guy is in a few years. He's dead. He might as well have died. Seriously. Bishu. Does anybody know who Bishu is anymore? Bishu was the guy I learned Nidalee from. People might know Bishu because he actually still streams. I think he plays Valorant still. But like, nobody fucking knows anybody anymore. Like nobody that was like a legend at League at season 2, 3, 4, whatever, is like, you don't remember these people. But I don't know. I just wanted to preach, because I've been thinking about it a lot. I have a lot of internal, I don't even want to say turbulence. I'm not some fucking, I'm not like going to sleep and crying or whatever, thinking about it or anything like that. But I do have these moments of like, internal dialogue where it's like, hey, are you like monetizing something that's like incredibly unhealthy? I don't think that it has to be, but I definitely am starting to think that maybe it is. Or at least how people seem to. The more that I assess a lot, especially the higher elo clients, less the lower elo ones, because like a lot of the lower elo clients, like these guys, people have talked shit about these lower elo clients. I'm telling you right now, I have had legitimate athletes, lawyers, doctors, CEOs, like fucking musicians. These are people that are like successful in their life buying elite coaching. This talk isn't for them. This isn't for them. These guys know what it takes to be successful in stuff. This is just this is icing on the cake in their life. This is something that they do real shit. Tasha says, NEACE, I feel like when I try to get something out of it, it makes the game matter more and I tilt and stress more. Borderline Masters Elo with an interest in coaching, but each time I try seriously. I appreciate you asking the question. Try to take it seriously. It makes my mental worse. Any advice? I mean, that's why I was getting at this, is that, yeah, you know what my advice would be is that you should be stressed. I think that's a good thing, as long as you try to balance it right with, you know, working out, making sure that your diet's squared away, setting some standards for yourself in like a daily session. You know what? I'm not even gonna listen. I'm just gonna use the coach's name. To be very clear, I like Coach Curtis a lot, and a lot of his guides and everything that he's done are incredible guides. But this was something that I fundamentally disagree with him on, and a lot of the way that he coaches is that, and not that he's a bad coach, not that he's that I disagree with him as a lead coach. I'm just saying that a lot of his advice tends to, like I said, skirt over the amount of crazy that we go through, that we all went through. I went through absolute batshit craziness. The stress that she's talking about, Tasha in chat's talking about, crazy levels of stress to get to where I'm at. Crazy level. I'm still crazily stressed. Now it's just repositioned itself to YouTube and managing, you know, my responsibilities, fucking talking to agents and fucking all this bullshit. Coach Curtis, as an example, has talked about the 3-block process, which Tasha, which is what you're talking about, sounds like that might actually help. You know, you play a few games, you take a break, you VOD review them, you go, oh my God, I want to fucking hang myself, right? And you get pissed off, and then you want to take a break, go for a walk. A 3-block process kind of limits that, right? Because you play 3 games, you take a break, whatever. But I'm gonna be honest, when you're first trying to get there, when you're first trying to make it, and you're trying to get to the level, like you say, master, that shit ain't gonna cut it. But I think, yeah, once you're at the level where you finally got the reps in, which is insurmountable now, and we did that when it was like season whatever back in the day. We all the coaches, all the high elo players, all the streamers, we put those crazy reps in way back, and then we kept doing it. So closing the gaps on you guys is going to be pretty tough. And that's why I tell people, like, dude, don't go crazy, man. Like, just get to diamond and stop and play one champion. Please, for the love of God, play one fucking champion. Please. You don't realize how many reps I've seen. I'm going to make you look like a joke. And it's not because I'm good. Right? It's not. I've played a lot, man. And I can save you time. That's what the coaching is all about. Is like, I can save you time. But at the end of the day, if you take it seriously, you're going to have to stress. And I guess my point, and this is a long-winded answer to your question, is that you should feel stressed. You should just work to have plans to manage that stress, and do not get confused by the scene around you. That when you put yourself out there and you ask the question about being a coach or whatever, or when you want to be like a pro, or you want to monetize the game, it's almost like there's a dirty connotation with it. I'm living it, by the way. I'm living the dirty connotation of monetizing your time and taking it seriously. Is when you start saying out loud, I want to make it in the space, you're going to get people that just hate you. Because you're basically, they're projecting their lack of give a shit, or their lack of drive, intensity, whatever the fuck. They're projecting that onto you. So now you've become this, like, this, I don't know, this fucking effigy that they just fucking, they direct all their hatred at because you're trying to do something. You'll see it in the game. You'll see it in the comments. I assume you're a girl, judging by your name. So probably in your case, gender-wise, well, have fun. So all these things together, they're gonna hone in on that, and they're gonna basically try to make you the crabs in a bucket. They're gonna try to pull you down. So my advice would be have a plan to deal with stress, and also as a preemptive measure, which I know that's going to be a thing, understand that nobody is going to give you credit for anything that you make ever. Like, no one's going to give you credit until you're undeniable. I've had, at this point, I've had coaches that are better. I've had social media influencers that are bigger. I've had, you know, people with more clout do all this bullshit to try to drive down my business and kind of what I've built, because they're projecting, they're mad because they realize they didn't get the maximum worth that they should have gotten, right? I see a lot of people in the space where I'm like, I don't know why you're mad at me. You could be making more than me and you're not. And I see it time and time again. And, you know, that's their cross to bear. I don't give a fuck what they do, right? That's what I've told people in the past. Be undeniable. I don't know if Joe... Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck what they do. It's just, it is what it is. You know, I'm gonna put a value on that time, because I've learned over the years that you can't let a game company dictate your worth. You can't let other people dictate your worth. You can't let a game control you. And you certainly can't let other people kind of pull you away from your ambitions, because other people really, really, really resent what they want but can't have. I'm boring chat, huh? I think there's a lot of people realizing that, like, their time is being siphoned away, and I wanted to preach.